Be a part of the best pro wrestling podcast today at patreon.com/Steve and Larson. Enjoy tons of bonus videos, including patron-only live shows, gameplay, and vintage 10 for the wins, access to podcast question threads, the Friendo Care Package, and so much more. Support Going In Raw today at patreon.com/Steve and Larson.
Boys and girls, this is the Undisputed Era. Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly.
Hello, Steve. Hello, Larson. It's me, Dexter Loomis, NXT Superstar. So here's my shout out to the Going In Raw podcast. Clever name.
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
Welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you can be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steve and Larson. Available wherever podcasts can be found, and of course, filmed live on the Twitch at twitch.tv/Steve and Larson. Once again, we want to thank the fine folks, Adam Blompiet over there at Parts Fun Known, of course, all the fellows at Wrestle Talk for inviting us on to Quizzlemania. We gave our thanks last night on our AEW review, which is available right now. But in case some of y'all don't watch AEW and you're just watching this, we want to make sure that we're getting our appreciation. And Larson and I had a blast playing Quizzlemania.
It was a lot of fun. Outcome wasn't what we had hoped, kind of what we expected, not what we hoped. But rather than just sitting in last place the whole time, first hour we did pretty well. Second hour didn't work out so well for us. Nonetheless, I feel satisfied with our effort. Every appearance on Quizzlemania is a learning experience. I feel like I've learned from that experience. And if either of us or both of us are extended invitation again, I feel like we'll do better next time.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And no, what you said was, I think we both expect we go in there and we're like, okay, we knew how this was going to go down. We knew that if there were categories that highlighted how well we know each other, we would dominate. Or how well we could work together. Like the password round wasn't so much how well we knew each other. Oh, man.
We just knew, well, I guess kind of does. We just knew what we need to say for the person to get it.
Exactly.
And we knew we could do it quickly.
We dominated those rounds, but then when it came time for certain things like knowing if Crime Time had won the WWE Tag Team Champions or anything more than like 5 Impact Tag Team Champions, we weren't gonna get anywhere with that. Sure enough, we ended up tanking, getting 4th place. But hey, at least it was a choke job. At least at a certain point for the first hour or so, we were doing pretty damn well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were in the lead for the first hour.
Yep. So, NXT had a couple of one sort of goofy big thing that was with a Keith Lee contract signing.
Super goofy. Now, if Damian Priest had been the one responsible for the fireball, I would have been into it.
Yeah, sure.
That fits with him. He could have finally embraced the fact that he's a vampire and has magical powers.
Yeah.
This just kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah, I'm really excited to talk about the kayfabe explanation for how that happened. Even
it's magic. That's the only explanation. But the thing is it David Copperfield type magic, where he's an illusionist?
Simply an
Scarlett
illusion.
Is an illusionist, or are we talking supernatural powers?
I tend to think that it's probably more the David Copperfield, let's make the Statue of Liberty disappear type situation, which I didn't even know about until I saw it on The Americans. So anyways.
I remember that. I think we watched that live growing up.
Really?
Yeah.
You would have been like 4, maybe, I think.
Oh, it was probably later than that.
You think so? Well, I'm watching The Americans. I feel like it's perpetually set in well, maybe not. Maybe it's like 84.
That would have been about 7.
Field, let's see here, statue. The other big thing, or so you would think it would be a big thing, would be Velveteen Dream came back from wherever he happened to be. 1983.
Yeah,
so you've been 6.
6. That sounds right.
Velveteen Dream came back as the mystery third man, brother, for the North American triple threat match for the to get into the North American ladder match. KUSHIDA. Cameron Grimes,
yes,
and Velveteen Dream. However, he did not win, and I guess he had a heel turn of his own there at the end.
That's the way to explain it. Yeah,
he's always been kind of. I mean, I know that there have been. He has gone through phases where he's mainly a heel. There's been phases where he's like, yeah, okay, he's a bad guy or a good guy, which is, I think, where we last saw him. But in the main event, after it concluded, and Cameron Grimes.
Yep, we saw that coming.
Took the win. Yeah, we did. But honestly, if I knew that Velveteen Dream was going to be the third man, the mystery third man, if I had a chance to change my pick, I would have been like, oh, Velveteen Dream's going to win that. Why else would you put him in there?
Him not winning is kind of that's the pattern they've more or less established with the previous qualifier matches. By and large, top names in each of those matches have not won. Finn didn't win. Johnny didn't win. Now Dream hasn't won. And even if I knew he was going to be in, I'd be like, I don't know. Still feel like that match. I don't know. I felt like that ladder match wasn't going to happen without Cameron Grimes in it.
Yeah, I feel that too. But the Velveteen Dream coming back is a big deal. I was like, okay, well, Dream might win this, and then Cameron Grimes will find another way in, perhaps. But no, he ended up taking the loss. He had Kushida in a position. And Cameron Grimes came in.
Kushida had Dream in a position.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
Grimes ran and hit the cave in. It was actually a really, really fun finish.
Yeah, no, it was. Yeah, we'll just we'll hop right into it. I thought it was a relatively fun NXT.
It seemed pretty standard for NXT.
Yeah. Let's see here. It opened up with this kind of made me laugh. Killer Kross versus Danny Burch. Danny Burch comes out really anxious to ring that bell so he could try to get that drop on him.
That ring, he's like, ring the bell, ring the bell,
ring the bell, ring the bell,
ring the bell.
So he comes out with a shotgun drop kick. It goes to the outside pretty quickly, and Kross takes back over. But there is a certain point about midway through this match. I know it wasn't like the longest match in the world, but like a certain point in this match, Burch was pulling some moves on Kross, and the first thing I thought was, did Regal tell him to go out there and give him the old Goldberg treatment? Remember that great match Regal schooled Goldberg? Because he was like putting on some moves onto Kross, and I was like, man, Kross is like supposed to be this super dominant guy. I mean, he's had people take him.
Well, you're talking about the crossface bit, right?
There was a crossface bit. There was he was getting in all sorts of offense.
Well, I think that, yeah. Well, that's kind of how it's been with Kross. Like, I mean, his first couple matches, whoever he faced didn't do anything, and then starting with the Bronson Reed match, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
That's when people started getting some offense. And I guess you could say, well, Burch, with the fast start, thanks to that, gave himself a bit of an advantage early on. But I thought that crossface bit was great, though, because he puts him in the crossface. Kross tries to get to the ropes, and Burch just keeps rolling through. And then Karrion Kross, with Burch's hands across his face, just does this.
He just looks back at him, yeah.
And the power's out.
Yeah. But then he gave him a bunch of he gave him, I think, 2 Doomsday Saito
suplexes. Man, those are rough.
Those are rough, man. Not a huge fan of those. I don't like seeing people
landing right in your neck and shoulders. That can't be good for you.
So you hear about that Gargano spot, apparently?
Apparently, yeah.
But I guess it's okay.
It.
So, yeah.
I didn't hear about the exact spot. I just heard he took a fall on his head or something.
That's what I heard, too, yeah. So anyways, in the end, though, Karrion Kross chokes out Danny Burch. So, yeah, there you go.
And then Keith Lee comes to the ring with a little contract.
Some sort of literature,
binder.
like he's going to, hey, I'm doing home roof inspections.
Could be, yes.
We're going to install some solar.
Here's my bid. And so he gets in the ring, grabs a mic, tells Kross, hey, this isn't on me. This is on you. I offered you a chance to earn your shot at the title, but you denied it, just like the little bitch you proved to be. And then Lee says he pleaded with William Regal to give him the match. He signed the contract. Regal signed the contract. All it needs now is Kross's punk-ass name. So Scarlett comes down the ring. She takes the folder, brings it to Kross. Kross signs it. Scarlett kind of walks down, kisses the binder, pushes it into the ring, and Lee really hesitantly goes and picks it up, opens it up to check to make sure the signature's in there. Something, fireball to the face.
Yeah, dude, shit exploded on his face. It was all melty afterwards. It was really a grotesque sight. I was shocked at how gross there was, like bits of face everywhere. That'd be great if that was the case. No, he did the old, so let's see here. Yokozuna took the title off Hogan.
Yeah, flash paper spot, yeah.
That was with, I think, flash photography, I think.
Something like that. It was a flashbulb that exploded in Hogan's face.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
But then wasn't Hogan involved in who else had the flash paper?
Against Warrior.
Yeah, that's right. And Yeah, that's right.
And that one actually singed Hogan's like eyebrow off or something, right?
Actually just blew up in his own face.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So in kayfabe, Larson, was it the deadly kiss that did it, or was there some sleight of hand, some misdirection and sleight of hand that we weren't aware of?
Well, I don't think those would be mutually exclusive. The kiss could be the sleight of hand. That's what distracts you. That's the thing. That's how the illusion works. Is that the illusionist will do something else to distract you from the sleight of hand. Mm-hmm. When it's done right, I've seen some really bad magicians that was like, I totally see what you're doing there.
Was that at the pizza place?
No, it was at a different place. A place purports to be a place that's a home to all things magical.
Oh, okay. All right. See, I'm just a mark. When I went to, they have like the cheap magician I took the fam down to LA in like 2011, and we went to the Pizza Cookery, I think, the place where the old house.
Yeah.
And they had like a dime store magician there.
Yeah.
And he was doing some cards. It's like, oh man, this guy's totally got the dark arts down to it.
Yeah.
What is he doing in this place?
Maybe he was
so good. He was blackballed from the magicians.
I don't know, man. So years ago, we went to the Magic Castle in LA. So you go there, you have your dinner, and it's you just go from like little theater to little theater, and various magicians are there. Some of them are really good. There's this one dude. Maybe he was just trying to be like the unmagician, you know?
Yeah.
Like like the so bad is good magician.
Okay.
If that was his aim, it didn't exactly resonate with old Larson.
Sure, yeah.
Because after every little trick, you do this.
Oh, I don't know if that's supposed to be ironic or not. Yeah.
Exactly. But like his whole presentation was like really calling attention to the fact that he was like, hey, this guy is like skilled magician, but his act said otherwise. So I don't know if
were people laughing at him?
I feel like everybody was just about as confused as I was.
Oh wow, okay. Dude, he's on a next level performance art. Hey, this is a good point. Asian Murray here in chat says, Steve, this week we got 2 Hogan Warrior spots, Cross Lee and EC3 Moose. So I forgot to mention this to you, but there was a segment on Impact this week where Moose walks into a room and EC3, there is like a projection of him on the wall, and Moose freaks out because at first, he sees EC3 there in the wall.
Yeah.
And EC3's talking to him on the projection. The entire chat was lighting up. He's in the wall.
He's in the wall. Jorge D says, oh, Lars, you've been to Magic Castle. Yeah, years ago. It was fun.
I thought that was like one of the, is that the place that's like the invite only thing?
Maybe.
Like for exclusive people? How'd you get in?
Oh, we went to some friends of ours. I think they got the connection, I think.
Ah, yeah. So anyways, yeah.
The restaurant there was really good. The meal we had was really good.
It'd be great if, like, after Keith Lee had this happen to him, next week he shows up and he's going to have the thing over his eyes. And he's going to be like, I don't deal with witches and magic. I'm vacating this title. It's all yours. He's, like, freaked out by that shit.
I didn't come to WWE to deal with the supernatural.
I've seen plenty of Harry Potter movies. I'm not into it. Anyways, after
the trainers come out, they help him. He doesn't want the help. He's just yelling for Kross. He wants to beat him up right then and there. Eventually, they escort him to the back. Next, we have Drake Maverick versus Killian Dain, which is a total filler match. What the hell? Like,
so not only did they, like, the entirety of this match take place picture in picture, but then the picture-in-picture cut away to Lee's ambulance taking off and the Undisputed Era pulling up in a Nissan Murano.
Yeah, the larger point too, and maybe I feel like I did see this coming, is they have this story with Drake Maverick wrestling for his WWE career. He loses the match for the title, gets betrayed by Santos Escobar. But since he got his contract, that's a win for him, and he's just quietly moved on to like anything else.
Yeah.
Basically no follow-up of any amount. Yeah, he had that tag match. I think it was him and Breezango against Legado del Fantasma at the last TakeOver, which I guess that for their mind was the blow-off, but you just drop it. You don't take any of the momentum with Drake.
Actually, in kayfabe, I appreciate it. You know why? Because he needs to take the loss on this one. You got your contract. Now just sit there by the whiteboard waiting for the next match.
It's the idea of a wrestler having momentum somewhat, taking it to a certain point and thinking, that's enough.
Isn't he doing it on I think he's on 205 also though. I think he was on 205. Look, man, I'm just saying, you know, he got his job back. I was just happy that we got to keep the Kings. You know, we haven't made the playoffs in 14 years. You know what? I still don't care because we still have our team.
That sounds like a participation award. Demand excellence. Come on.
No, we got something. We might not have gotten first place, but we won that first hour of Quizzlemania.
Yeah.
So anyways, like you said, that Drake Maverick match with Killian Dain, really, it just served a purpose.
It was immaterial. It didn't matter because Undisputed hit the ring, beat the hell out of both of them.
Yeah.
And then Adam Cole dropped the promo, more or less calling out Pat McAfee, saying, "Do you want to come here and play being a wrestler?"
The enthusiasm in his voice was really high. The actual words that he said were like the least menacing words. You're going to find out that you're in over your head and that nobody can help you. Well, he didn't even use any curse words.
I thought he did once.
Did he
said
say B?
He said he's going to whoop that ass at TakeOver.
You get that in a G-rated movie these days, man. These days it's bullshit or GTFO. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Anyways, after that, we had a pleasant little Kushida video package. He said, in this triple threat, I know what Cameron Grimes is all about. And he says, whoever my mystery opponent is, I'm going to survive them. And it's time for Kushida. Did he say taste go?
Gold.
Okay. Because he looked at his watch, and when I think watch, I'm like, go. So he said taste, you know, obviously
he
he's
said
still
look at
doing
his watch because it's time. He said it's time for Kushida to taste gold.
Okay. I like the phrase taste go. I'm going to make a shirt out of that.
Why don't they do anything with Kushida? Like, I was watching that match, and especially the bit where he did the handspring kick that knocked Dream off the apron and followed with that Tornado DDT.
Yeah,
Like, dude's got
rad.
all the skill in the world.
Well, I would just suspect that given that, number one, you're right, why aren't they doing more with him? He did have like a small string of injuries that kept him out for a little while.
Yeah, I know he had the wrist issue for a while, and shortly after debuted. But like,
I think there was something else too.
Maybe, but
could be wrong about
the
that.
fact that he's barely on TV when he's healthy.
Well, maybe he'll do this thing with Dream. Maybe they'll get a takeover match. I wonder if they're just waiting for him to get back. I don't know. It's a good question. But you know, I don't know. Don't have an answer. Tyler Breeze versus Santos Escobar was up next. This was not much of a match at all. All these guys, this is why Drake Maverick is just probably, it's better off for him to just restart. He's got his contract. Don't worry about Santos Escobar. He gave you a phantom driver through like 8 tables. You don't need any of that in your life, dude. Tyler Breeze, same thing. Let it go. So
and Fandango comes out with like what looks like to be a broomstick, swinging that around like he's gonna go out to his neighborhood and play some stickball.
Yeah, so like this was messed up too. So like partway through this match, or I guess towards the finish of the match was LDF comes running in. Tyler Breeze evades them both, even though Drake. I understand the idea that a DQ really shouldn't happen unless there's actual. Right? There's like actually somebody gets physical.
Yeah.
However, if you have to evade that physicality and that leads directly to the finish of the match, the other guy gets the advantage. And it's such it's one thing if they're lingering ringside, okay? Managers show up ringside, whatever. Keep your eye on the prize. If somebody invades the ring and that directly leads, shouldn't that be a DQ as well?
No, man, it's all about contact. You have to like physically get involved in the match. Like if
I know what the rule is.
If someone runs in the ring and just stands there, you know, like Finn Freestyle, arms at their side, big smile on their face.
Okay, but that's
totally
not what
fine.
Okay,
but that can distract somebody. People,
okay,
like both participate. Like, what the heck is going on here?
But dude, what if Santos did this? What if he had like 8 of his friends run in with Santos Escobar matches? I'm sorry, masks.
Yeah,
and they're all like, "Ooh, I'm not touching you," and
they're
the
all
real
doing
one,
the Spider-Man thing, yeah.
And the real one, like at a certain point, like yes,
that sounds like brilliant strategy.
There wasn't contact, but like the intent of contact was there. Doesn't intent mean anything?
I guess that's up to referee's discretion, man.
Well, Drake sucks because he let this go down. He was just
if
watching.
If you take intent into it, when anybody runs it down to the ring and attacks, for example, if what was the other day on Raw when Asuka ran down during Sasha's match and attacked Bayley, I think that's the situation. The ref called for the bell. Maybe the ref felt, well, Asuka's intent is to attack both of them. So if you take intent into account, that could just as easily explain instances like that.
I totally understand that it's a subjective thing. Like, each ref would have his own. That ref obviously was like ridiculous with it because she didn't even like approach the other competitor. No. But if somebody runs at somebody such to the extent that that competitor has to get out of the way to avoid. I mean, honestly, Tyler Breeze should have just stood there. Let the guy mow him down and then he wins the match.
Yeah, no.
Anyways, this was more about wins and losses, about revenge. Fandango came down, like you said. He's got like one. He's limping. He's got one arm in a sling, and he's got a broomstick. That broomstick.
But he's got a match next week.
Wait, did they actually announce that? Was it like a 6-man?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
It's Swerve and Breezango taking on Legado del Fantasma.
All right.
So he's beat to hell. He's got his arm in a sling. He got beat up tonight. He'll be cleared next week.
Mm-hmm. But by the way, Swerve Scott came out to help out and
made the save.
fended off Legado del Fantasma. After that, Dakota Kai video where she claims that she did everything to get where she is by herself and that she didn't need friends or insurance policies, even though clearly her insurance policy, Raquel Gonzalez, got her to where she was. Yeah, well, kind of. I guess that the last two matches.
Last couple weeks it hasn't, but you know. The heel turn in post for the most part. Yeah, totally. She says she knows what it takes to beat Io. She's in Io's head, and so she's going to win at TakeOver. After that, with a quick Ridge Holland promo, he says the hype is real. He's got a second chance match against Gargano. He says guys of his size wouldn't last a minute on his rugby field.
This is
on the rugby field, everybody's as massive as Ridge Holland. He has a very good point.
Well, on the rugby field, those guys are all nothing but big trunks, right? The thighs. Man, those dudes are, Anyways, after that, we had Indi Hartwell versus Mia Yim. But first, Mia Yim had a quick interview. The interviewer was like, I think it was Mackenzie, right? Or was it Sarah? I don't know.
I believe it was Mackenzie.
Okay. She was like, hey, what's going on with Keith Lee? Because you went with him to the hospital. She's like, I just got here. I've got a match in a second. From what I understand, no long-term damage. He should be fine. I got to get out there.
Yeah.
So her and Indi Hartwell have a match. Mia is obviously distracted for a good majority of this match, so she's out of it. Hartwell is able to take advantage of that. But at a certain point, Indi decides to yell, "Bask in my glory!" Yeah. And at that point, Mia Yim focuses, loses her shit, comes alive, ground and pound, drop kick, neck breaker, German suplex, and then she gets Indi gets tapped out with like an arm breaker.
Yeah, Indi does the Keith Lee's pose too.
Yeah, that's right.
After that, we had a Finn Balor promo. It's like about opportunities, about second chances. He says, I'm not one to politic. I don't have to. Regardless, says the office wants him on TV, regardless of demographic, more or less. He starts listing off, like, if you're 18, if you're 49, if you're whatever years old.
He says if you're 18, 49, or living in a retirement home, which is actually the people watching this.
I know.
Like, why do you think that is?
Why WWE's audience skews older?
Why NXT specifically's audience skews so much older?
That is perplexing. I don't know.
It is weird, right?
If any WWE product should appeal to a younger demo, it should be NXT.
You would think, yeah. That's the weirdest thing.
I don't get it. Unless it's just the brand. It's just WWE as a brand just appeals to older viewers. I don't know.
Yeah, that could be. I've been racking my brain over this one. It's strange.
That's the only thing I can think about. In conclusion, he says whoever he faces next will be easy pickings for him. This was probably the highlight of the show for me. These next two shots because it's so telling. So we get a quick shot of Bronson Reed warming up backstage, getting ready for his match. Contrast that with Damian Priest just chilling on a sofa.
But he was like wringing his hands like he was nervous. He was like watching an iPad and he was going like this. And he had sunglasses on. I was like, you're not preparing yourself, Damien. You're not getting ready for this match, dude.
Which was next, and the whole beginning part of it, commentary is pushing the idea that Priest was the talk of the wrestling world following his loss to Finn Balor at TakeOver. Why? Why are they pushing that narrative? It's one thing for him to say because he's full of himself. Or trying to make a turn a negative into a positive, even though he has no basis for doing so. But for commentary to push that narrative is kind of silly.
It is pretty weird that we've clued in onto this story, and like I feel like not a lot of people have, because this is the weirdest thing. Like even this match, I always love when like, so he tried to suplex Bronson Reed pretty early, and I love that like when they try to suplex a big man and they do like, no, you're not going to do it. They just stand still. It's like they just dead weight the guy. Mm-hmm. For some reason, that just makes me laugh. And then, like, later on, he tries it again, and he can't get it, but he starts beating on the guy, and that's supposed to make it easier to suplex a person.
Yeah, I know, man.
Wrestling's so funny sometimes.
Yeah, I know.
So at one point, he hits a broken arrow on Reed, though.
Yeah. Priest, he would try to match Reed's power and fail, and so he'd rely on his striking. So whenever he did that, he would do pretty well. He had that cool kind of springboard somersault senton thing.
That was really fun. Yeah, he's such a fun. He's a fun wrestler to watch.
He can be a really fun wrestler.
All the character stuff is hilarious.
Yeah, but it doesn't make any sense.
It's all unintentionally funny. That's why it makes me laugh.
None of it makes sense.
Yeah,
which is why I find him such an interesting and beguiling wrestling personality, because I think there's a lot there. They just don't know what to do with him, or he doesn't know what to do with himself from a character perspective. Anyways, Reed goes top for his splash, his finish. Priest moves more or less. Goes for the reckoning. Reed escapes that. This was actually really impressive, that jackknife cover that Bronson Reed did.
Yeah, I know.
That was
cool.
super impressive.
Yeah.
And he nails that to get the win.
Yeah.
It was a fun enough match, though. It was fun.
No, it was. It was a lot of fun. Both these guys are really fun. And, of course, Priest's momentum continues in an upward trajectory.
Oh, man. Win or lose, doesn't matter. I mean, I dare say he gets more momentum from a loss than he does from a win.
It feels like that, doesn't it? It feels like that.
Just
there's a good chance that he's going to lose his way to the North American title, man. It's going to be him or Grimes.
Yeah.
I don't know which one, but it's going to be him or Grimes.
I still feel like it'd be Grimes.
So NS Ogre here says, as an old fart, NXT is the closest thing to old school wrestling that is easily accessible. That's interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting. So I would maybe AEW we see superficially harkens back to WCW a lot, but the wrestling at its core though isn't old school wrestling, you know?
Well, I mean that's my thing. That's my take on AEW in general. I mentioned this yesterday. Is that it is this weird.
Raven says the reason NXT has an older audience is that literally a show on the air before NXT is NCIS.
That is a damn
That's
good
the best
point.
explanation I've seen.
That is the best. It's just left on. But AEW is like this weird combination of old school like throwback homage and like the future of wrestling, which is by and large how those matches play out in the ring. NXT is like sort of the least frills.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah,
and that's why the fireball gimmick seems so out of place.
Oh, it's so cheesy.
I
love it though. See, that's it's so silly. I don't know. I'm a fan. I think that's why I like it so much, because like when NXT does something that's silly, it's like, okay, well, it's so stripped down, but then they'll do something like that, which is so goofy. It's like I feel like they do that every week on AEW, but with NXT, every once in a while they'll do something goofy, and it's like, okay, either I'll find it stupid or just funny. And in this case, I found it funny. At no point did I find it dramatic, though, because it's not.
No, it's not. Next, we had a pretty good Io Shirai promo. It says, Dakota Kai kicked me in the face. Message received. This bit was great. This is some quality crap talk here. It says, she's acting like a big star, but before she betrayed Tegan Nox, no one knew who she was. She's a manipulator. She uses people and gets rid of them when she's done. When she saw Dakota, she only saw the girl who was terrified of Shayna. I'm happy they brought that back. Yeah. It says Dakota's no match for her. She's not in her head. She just pissed her off.
Yeah, that was a good one. This was my favorite, though. Cameron Grimes out on a lake, or like a pond anyways. And he said, God, I can't get enough of this guy's promos. I can listen to him all day. They're so great. He talks about being in the right place, right time. Talks about Kushida. And he said, then I'm going to climb that ladder, take that North American title to the moon.
Yeah, that's his thing.
God, he's so good. I love him so much. After that, we had Kayden Carter and Kacy Catanzaro versus Mercedes Martinez and Aaliyah of Robert Stone Brand. But before the match happened, Robert Stone Brand himself got in the ring and delivered a promo, said, our future is en fuego. That means on fire. And he said, it's very bright, And that could include you, Kacy Catanzaro. He's like, look at all the mainstream exposure you've already had. American Ninja Warrior. He says, but the thing is, you're hanging with the wrong people, and looks at Kayden Carter, not the right people, looks back at his crew. And he said, you need to lose the loser. And then they both kick him in the knee, or one of them kicks in his knee. The other one slaps his face. Kacy drops Mercedes Martinez immediately with like a head scissors.
Mm-hmm.
And then they isolate Aaliyah. But in the end, once Martinez got in, she got the win with that modified air raid crash to Kacy Catanzaro.
And then Aaliyah hits the ring and tries to celebrate with Mercedes. And Mercedes like, get away. I don't want to celebrate.
Dude, this is
no
not
hugs.
your win. This is not your win.
Rhea Ripley gets to the ring. She drops Martinez with the boot, hits some strikes. Aaliyah decks her from behind. And then Martinez pushes Aaliyah out of the way so she can go after Rhea some more.
Mm-hmm.
Shotzi Blackheart comes out to make the save. She sends Aaliyah and Martinez from the ring. Awesome to hear that Shotzi got her gear back. Her car was
I know.
stolen
I watched
Yeah.
the video. It's so funny because she's in her wrestling gear when she gets the call. Jake Atlas takes her to the where the car is and the cops are there.
Mm-hmm.
And she just has like her full on, like in my mind, she just wears that. Like I know I've seen her at the Performance Center with like normal clothes on, but like I like the idea. She's so like a superhero.
I know.
Anyways. After that, we got one of those goofy Gargano family videos. Candice LeRae is telling her dog a fairy tale story where Tegan Knox is like a dragon. Is she? What was
Something.
the metaphor here?
That's kind of the allegory, I guess.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Johnny's on it's like setting up a ladder and climbing it.
But it's to change a light bulb.
Yeah. So I think Candice more or less says Tegan needs to mind her own business because Candice isn't the one who's evil. I think that was the point of that whole thing.
Yeah, that's what I gathered. So she's like, she talks about the kingdom, NXT, being doomed, and he says, that might be true, but our kingdom is fine. And he basically says that all the new guys in town are talented, but not as talented as him, and there can't be a takeover without John Gargano. Of course, he's got Ridge Holland next week. And he says the next time he climbs a ladder, it's going to be to fix NXT. And then he says goodnight. They start going upstairs to bed. He says goodnight to his Doc Hendricks framed 8x10, which I always love.
Yeah. After that, Timothy Thatcher, Thatch can. The class, he said today's theme is adaptation.
Adaptation.
So 2 weeks ago, he says I should have had the match won. Here's the thing. I had this Boston Crab on. But here's what else you could do. You could transition that to an ankle lock. And the student this time, he's crying out in pain. And he gets the leg scissors on too. And he says, if you want to win, you need to learn to adapt. Announced for next week, Pat McAfee, Adam Cole face-to-face. Hopefully get some good crap talk there. Also, 6-man tag match, Legado del Fantasma versus Swerve and Breezango. And then the two last chance qualifying matches, Gargano versus Holland, and Finn versus Velveteen Dream, who made his return in the main event.
Yep. This is a fun enough match. Dream did seem, and I guess maybe it was just because he had a heel turn coming up, but he seemed a bit on the neutered side, like just in terms of his total packaging. How did you say it? I don't want to put words in your mouth prior to us rolling camera.
Like the shine has come off the Dream a bit.
It like just in general, you would think like a return for a guy that they at one time obviously had high hopes for. I don't know the reason for his. I mean, we can speculate given certain internet things about Velveteen Dream's being gone, but I don't know how much that has to
I don't
play
know
in
either. I mean, like when he came back from that back injury, and granted things were different. It was empty arena era. His interaction with the crowd was always such a huge part of his overall presentation as a character.
Yeah.
That I don't know if it just seemed like he had a hard time adapting to no one being there or what. But when he came back to start that program with Adam Cole, even just from his return, when he was up on that top rope, the purple lights come on. You're like, okay, well, that's how you bring back Velveteen Dream. When before his back injury, his trajectory was main event.
Yeah, but I mean, even at that point, My personal take on that was that's as much production as they really can do within the confines of the performance. It was early in the Performance Center.
Yeah, and I'm not necessarily blaming the return and how underwhelming it was solely on the production aspect. He didn't seem into it.
That's totally true.
For whatever reason.
True. Yeah.
He was barely, like, half that feud was Adam Cole at his backyard dropping promos on his phone. Like, Dream was barely there. He didn't really seem involved.
Yeah.
So many of their matches seemed like obligations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, right.
For a story they just wanted to kind of get out of the way for whatever reason. And then they had that backlot brawl that was not good. And then he's been off TV since then.
Yeah. Yep. So, and even this, like the finish was really great.
The finish was really creative. Yeah.
It is the kind of thing though, like with wrestlers, and you've seen this with certain wrestlers in the past. The first one that sort of comes to mind was, remember, like for a couple months, oh God, who's the Ring of Honor champion with the boys? What's his name?
Oh, Dalton
Castle. Yeah, Dalton Castle. Remember he like there was like rumors that like everybody wanted him, like NXT was trying to get, everybody was trying to get him, and I think he went through like he was champion. He went through a string of bad injuries.
Yeah, he had a back injury. And then sort of it was like everybody sort of passes him by, and I feel like I look at Cameron Grimes and I'm like, the guy's hot, super hot. Mm-hmm. And you look at it like a guy like the two guys earlier, Reed and Priest. They're hot. They're on the rise. Dexter Lumis on the rise. And he's got an ankle injury, but he's on the rise. And I wonder if it's like, Adam Cole has shifted to, he's above title, celebrity guy now. Yeah, celebrity guy now, yeah.
And Finn Balor is sort of in purgatory, but that they could bring him back to Maine and do whatever they want with him, and he'll be fine. Yeah. With Dream, it's kind of interesting. I kind of feel like it's main roster or just what else, Maybe he'll be reinvigorated with a heel turn and he'll be more into it. I don't know. This is a fun enough match. Dream, he was doing his cool stuff where he's flying off the top to the floor with the double axe handle. He had let's see here. How did the finish go down? Kushida was they did that great bit where Grimes and Kushida goes up to the top, and they do. I always think that somebody's going to get killed doing this.
Oh, the cross arm breaker transition off the top. I know.
It's beautiful. It's so beautiful, but it's always like so terrifying to watch.
I know. I mean, it was a fun match. They didn't give it a ton of time, but they packed it full of fun spots. The spot with Kushida, like I said, where he does the handspring kick on Dream, knocking him off the apron, and then kind of fends off Grimes and hits that tornado DDT off the apron on Dream. I thought was really good.
Yeah.
Really good. In the end, though, so Kushida has Dream in a hoverboard lock. So he has his legs grapevined around Dream's midsection. So Dream's standing up. Kushida has the hoverboard lock on. Grimes comes to, hits the cave-in on Kushida, tosses Dream out of the ring, covers Kushida to get the win. Dream gets back in the ring after Grimes makes his way up the ramp, slaps Kushida, and then starts some ground and pound. The ref tells him to stop, and Dream basically chases him over the barricade. Goes back to beating up Kushida, goes to pose on the turnbuckle, hops down, turns around, Finn's in the ring, stare down. Finn gives him double gun fingers as the show goes off air.
I have a question thread up here on the Patreon. If you want to hop on the Twitch, I'll load up. I'll load up Dr. Steve Winter's Discord here. Leave that. Go here. Kenny T, what in your guys' opinion was the best year of NXT? Kenny T also wants to get in on our NBA My League.
Yeah, we got to set that up. That's going to take some logistical.
Let's just say time to work out. We're doing the draft this weekend.
I probably can't this weekend, but sometimes.
Okay, next weekend.
What year was it that the Gargano Ciampa stuff was going on?
That's literally what I was going to say.
2018.
Probably
whatever year that was. That was the best
it.
year. Because not only that, but like Aleister Black was there, Ricochet was there, like everybody was there.
And that's when the Undisputed Era was really kicking into gear too.
Mm-hmm.
That North American. That was probably the year the North American title was.
Yeah. I think that was just last year. Was that just last year?
Dude.
Seems so long ago.
2020 has been a bitch.
Zondo, I think AEW steals NXT's 18 to 49 viewers.
It'll be interesting to see what the rating situation how it plays out next Wednesday. If that ends up happening, if like NXT gets over 1 million or something, which I don't think is really possible, but if there is some sort of clear evidence that unopposed NXT would do killer numbers, I don't know what Vince would prefer. Keeping NXT to try to siphon away AEW numbers or
move it to get good numbers by itself, yeah.
I don't know.
That was 2018. 2018 was the best year of NXT. That
feels
was the
like
year.
that. Okay.
That was
that
the Ciampa
right.
Gargano year.
Yeah, because Cole had the title for like a year. That just ended, a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Wolfpack for life. Wow. He says, y'all didn't win in Quizzlemania because Larson didn't believe in the power of the 300 game ring. I had this next to my heart. I stopped kissing it. That was the problem. I stopped
that was the problem?
The first couple rounds. I kissed it in advance. I stopped doing that. That was the problem.
Oh, that was the problem. Okay. Ryan K. Lamb, did y'all see Dream in WWE this time next year? Heck, even in wrestling, to me, seems like he doesn't want to be there anymore.
The next couple months are going to point in a particular direction for him, I feel. Moses opposes, what's the next thing Karrion Kross should put surprise fire in? Next time Tegan Knox delivers a pizza, he opens it up.
There you go. There you go. I was going to say something in catering. Someone opens up the prime rib thing.
Yeah.
Raven LaFleur, he says, I'm going to be perfectly honest, Dream has never done it for me.
There were spells when he really did for me because he would put on really fun matches. His interaction with the crowd was always fun.
When he does good character work,
he's a lot of fun.
He can be, yeah.
Yeah.
But then ever since he came back from that back injury, it just seems like, for whatever reason, I don't know if this is actually the case, he just seems like he's not into it.
Yeah. I don't disagree. Gregory Faea. Did Cross somehow meet up with Harry Potter to cast a spell on Keith Lee with fire?
Seemingly.
Well, it would have been Scarlett.
Gareth Nicholas, with NXT lacking tag teams, could we see Killian, Dain, and Drake Maverick team up against Undisputed Era? Could they work as a duo? Probably not going to happen.
That'd be like I would see something like that happening, but as like a jobber team.
Yeah. Jorge
that
D.
seems more like a main roster thing, anyways, doesn't it?
It does. Yeah, I know. And then Drake would be asked to pee his pants again. Jorge D. How you guys book a segment of Cameron Grimes trying to get to the moon? Wasn't there a movie? Was it with Billy Bob in it where he builds a rocket in his backyard or something like that?
Yeah, man. Yeah,
that's how. Put Cameron Grimes in that role.
No, you know what I'd like to see, because Cameron Grimes seems like an old timey guy, anyways. Let's get him in that what was that movie called?
The old one? Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Like the silent movie.
I think
it's
like called Trip to the Moon or something.
Yeah, yeah, it was too. I could see him doing that.
That'd be funny. Lands the moon's eyeball.
Yeah, exactly. J.R. Wayne. What other magic powers the NXT roster have based on their gimmicks? Well, obviously, Damian Priest could turn into a bat.
Mm-hmm. Because he's a vampire.
Yeah.
Fear and Loathe, and Danny Burch starts matches like he's about to cash in Money in the Bank.
He does. He was like, ring the bell, ring the bell, ring the bell. Do you want to cash in? What's that?
So Cyfixia asks, in your opinion, who has the worst entrance music across all wrestling? He says Eddie Edwards. I don't know Eddie Edwards' music.
Who's the what? Oh, his music? His music's not that bad. It just sounds like 2005, like watered down new metal.
Oh.
I wouldn't call it the worst, though. I think there's worse than that. At least this has lyrics and like people are singing on it.
Oh, all right.
I mean, for me, you get A for effort. If it's just the same loop over and over again with nobody like saying anything, it's lazy.
Fear and Loathing and kayfabe, is Damian Priest jealous of everything about Killian Cross's presentation? Yes.
Wait, what was the question?
In kayfabe, is Damian Priest jealous of Cross's presentation?
I don't know, man. I don't know if he's jealous, because Priest, like, his entrance is pretty hype. It's got the strobe lights, and he does the weird thing that he's doing here.
It's nowhere close.
His name has fire, man. He goes like this, and it's in
the
time.
Most boring font possible.
No.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about Priest, that he maybe deep down he's jealous, but he's very proud of his because he came up with his own entrance.
That could be, but
I want my name in fire. Okay, what font do you use? Times New Roman.
Yes, I like serif fonts. All right, I mean, I'm sure there's someone in one of the kids at school here at Full Sail that will agree with you there. We'll have him work on it.
Lizard Man, does Kross make his goofy, bug-eyed faces when doing regular tasks, grocery shopping, and folding clothes? I wonder if he does that face during sex. Does that?
He's in the backyard pulling weeds. Could be. Tiger, Aaliyah attempting to hug Mercedes after the match had me crying. What are your favorite frenemies / rival turned tag teams? That was good. Oh, it's Rock and Mankind.
It's the Rock and Mankind for sure. Yeah. James Fletcher, if they added one more to Phantasma's group, who do you think they should? James says he feels like it should be Mansoor. Mansoor is to be wheeled out only at Saudi Arabia shows, people. Because then he's got like, if you just count Saudi, he's got a perfect record.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't he beat Cesaro one year in Saudi Arabia?
Mm-hmm.
Boy. One to Phantasma's group. How about you swerve us with a swerve? Add swerve to it.
Oh. What about if they had Carrillo?
Oh, that'd be good. That kid needs to be a heel. He really should.
They got to do something with him. They
I want to see him be
like a roster.
See him be like a bully would be great.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Julian asks, it makes me really sad we never got a Buddy Murphy singles run in NXT. Where do you think his ceiling would have been had he gone back to NXT instead of 205? And do you think he'd be in a better position right now in the card if he had gotten his call up from NXT as opposed to 205? I mean,
based on pure talent, he's minimum North American champion based on pure in-ring talent.
Sure.
The thing with him is packaging and character.
Yeah. And I don't know how much of that is what they see in a person. If they're like, oh, we can totally use, like you look at a guy, and I'll point this guy out, but you look at a guy like Damien Priest. How do you not run with that guy? He's so much fun in the ring. His look is so unique. Mm-hmm. His voice is something else. Mm-hmm. Like, that's a guy that you really know, okay, just by looking at him, I can come up with 5 ideas as to how to utilize a character for him. Buddy Murphy's not really that. You know, he's more of a Cesaro type, where it's like, I can kind of understand why they never really went full on behind. And I'm not saying that I agree with it. I just understand WWE likes those guys who you can just run with as a character in any number of directions. Yeah. Buddy Murphy, I don't think he's just...
That's what's so kind of frustrating about Damian Priest is what they've kind of come upon. It isn't it, you know? It isn't what he needs to be a main event type guy.
Yeah. I'm for me, like, I know we joke endlessly about him, but I kind of feel like the jury is out. A lot of people really like that guy. And I can believe it if he's booked in the right way with even his character as it stands now. He just needs to pick up some wins so that when he talks about building momentum, it actually kind of makes sense.
Also, when he delivers his promos, he needs to stop looking around.
Yeah, okay, so you're right. You're 100% right. His promos need to be focused and more intense. That's totally true. Like, there was that one promo where it was like, okay, you have something. You have, like, a cold. I don't think they'd have him there if he had COVID. But, like, there was something wrong.
You would
like,
hope not.
He had, like, the runs, or I don't know what it was.
I don't know what it was, but yeah. Dang MQ says the Good Brothers do not have a good theme in Impact.
Well, you know their theme, the Devil Way.
Oh, that's their theme.
That's their theme. Yeah, that last song you heard on Talkin' Shop of Mania. I don't care. I like it. It sort of fits in with how sleepy they are in Impact. They're just collecting that money.
Senior Nerd, who do you think has the worst finisher in NXT?
Oh, I like the cave-in. Well, I mean, Damian Priest isn't that special. It's just Crossroads.
Yeah, you should start doing the Razor's Edge.
He should.
Because he does do it.
I like Dexter Lumis's. I like everybody in the Undisputed Era. What does Dream actually use? So he doesn't. The Dream Valley driver is not his finish. It's
he uses the Purple Rainmaker at the top.
Purple Rainmaker. Yeah, I could lose that. I think he's more creative than just doing a top rope elbow.
Yeah, I think so too. Jorge D says Austin Gunn has the worst finisher on wrestling right now. It's a hip toss.
So I heard somebody mention that. I did not see it.
Yeah, I didn't.
I really want to find. I got to go look through a Dark episode now.
Patrick Oliva says Kenta is using the Bullet Club theme for the New Japan US tourney. Awesome.
I gotta watch that. I gotta watch some of that stuff. Yeah. Anyways, is that it?
Sounds good to me.
All right. Well, thanks everybody. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We appreciate it. Tonight, Unsolved Mysteries right here on Twitch. Thanks for watching. Until next time, we'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.
Be a part of the best pro wrestling podcast today at patreon.com/Steve and Larson. Enjoy tons of bonus videos, including patron-only live shows, gameplay, and vintage 10 for the wins, access to podcast question threads, the Friendo Care Package, and so much more. Support Going In Raw today at patreon.com/Steve and Larson.